Ladies and gentlemen, you're losing time every single day. And if you don't change something today, right now, you might wake up 10 years from now, wondering how you let life pass you by. That's not just a possibility. It's already happening to millions of people. And it doesn't matter if you're in the US, in Canada, in the UK, in Europe, or in Australia. You felt it too, haven't you? That quiet frustration, that small voice that says, there's more in me than I'm living out. Let me tell you something personal. Not about me, about you. You have potential, but potential is useless unless it becomes reality. And here's the truth. Your life will not change because you wish it. Your life changes because you do certain small things every day. Things that compound, things that build, things that shift your trajectory over months and years. But there's a catch. Most people don't even know what those things are. Today, I want to show you exactly what to do daily to change your life. Not based on theories, not based on feel-good slogans, but based on what has actually worked in real life and in the lives of people who defy the odds. This isn't just a pep talk, it's a real roadmap you can follow. And if you're watching this, you've already started walking it. Drop a comment below and tell me where you're listening from. I genuinely want to know where this message is transforming lives. And if you're finding this helpful, go ahead and like the video and subscribe. It helps others like you find this message too. And listen to the end so you don't miss any of the important things I'm about to share. Let's begin with daily habit 1. Do the hardest thing first. Start the day not with comfort, but with courage. Ask, what is the one thing you're avoiding? Not tomorrow, not next week, today. It might be a call, a conversation, a choice. Avoiding discomfort is one of the biggest reasons people stay stuck. If something is important enough, even if the odds are against you, you should still do it. There's no breakthrough without pressure. There's no freedom without friction. Try this tomorrow before anything else. Face the task you've been resisting. Make it your first win. That's how momentum begins. Daily habit 2. Ask this question every night. End the day with one reflection. Did I improve something today? Not everything, just something. One relationship, one system, one thought. Improvement doesn't need to be loud, but it must be consistent. Constantly think about how you could be doing things better. The brain thrives on progress. Without it, even success feels empty. So here's a powerful exercise. Before sleep, take 60 seconds. Reflect. If the answer is yes, repeat. If the answer is no, adjust. This resets your compass. It keeps the purpose alive. No one is too old to grow. Growth is not a phase, it's the purpose. The average person doesn't fail because of lack of effort. They fail because of one thing: distraction. It's the invisible force that eats away progress minute by minute. The biggest mistake people make is wasting time on things that don't actually make a difference. Every day is shaped by choice. Scrolling doesn't look like failure. Procrastinating doesn't feel like failure. But the days get lost, then the weeks, then the years. Here's a question to ask every morning. What am I doing today that's actually meaningful? Not just urgent, not just routine, but meaningful. When that question becomes your filter, life starts aligning. Create a no list. List 3 things that steal time every day and commit to saying no to them tomorrow. Examples: checking news first thing in the morning, responding to messages instantly, watching random videos without purpose. Protecting your time is not selfish, it's sacred. Because when time is wasted, life is wasted. Time is the one thing you can't get back. And here's something deep. Most people don't know how to be alone with their thoughts. Silence makes them anxious, so they run from it into distraction. But silence isn't the enemy. It's where clarity is born. So if the mind feels crowded, it's time to start decluttering. Not just schedules, but thought. Next, I'll show you a mindset reset, so powerful that it shifts your inner chemistry. And it only takes 2 minutes a day. And yes, this one tool has helped thousands find their path again after feeling lost for years. So stay with us. We're building something. Before moving on, identify 3 daily distractions. Make a no list. Set your phone aside tonight and sit in silence for 5 minutes. That's where clarity begins. And remember, prayer isn't a routine, it's a reset. If you pray, ask God for wisdom to know what really matters, and courage to live like it. If the mind is unclear, every decision will be distorted. That's why the next daily habit is not physical, it's internal. And it only takes 2 minutes. It's called pattern interruption. Most people wake up into the same emotional script every day. Tired, reactive, rushed, overwhelmed, and they stay in that state for hours, sometimes the entire day. But there's a tool that interrupts that emotional autopilot. You get to choose your mindset every morning. That's more powerful than most people realize. Here's how to do it. 1. Stand or sit still with your back straight. 2. Close your eyes. Breathe in deeply. Then exhale slowly. Repeat 5 times. 3. Say aloud, or in your mind, I am calm, I am focused, I create value today. And then open your eyes. Write down one word that describes the state you want to carry through the day. Just one word. Examples: grateful, strategic, joyful, relentless. It activates your reticular activating system, the part of the brain that filters your attention. And when you name your state, you begin to live in it. This 2-minute reset is your filter. It blocks out the noise. It returns you to signal. Seniors who've practiced this have reported feeling more energized. Adults who've added this to their mornings have noticed better decision and fewer mood swings. And if you combine this with prayer, even silently, it multiplies your focus, because when the soul is anchored, the mind can move freely. Try this tomorrow. Don't touch your phone in the first 10 minutes. Instead, do the reset. Breathe, speak, write your word. You are not a machine, but you can design your mind like one intentionally, with clarity. Next, I'll show you why clarity without courage still fails, and the one thing you must do daily to build unshakable confidence, no matter your age. Initially, we talked about the 2-minute mental shift that resets your day. But what happens next? What happens when fear creeps in again? When uncertainty knocks twice? That's what we will talk about now. Something nobody teaches us in school, but is behind every lasting life transformation. You're not failing because you lack talent. You're not stuck because you lack intelligence. You're stuck because you were never taught how to use daily courage. Most people believe courage is something you're either born with or something that shows up only in big dramatic moments, like saving someone from a burning car or speaking in front of a crowd for the first time. But that's not the kind of courage that changes your life. The courage that changes your life is quiet, ordinary, small, daily. And almost nobody teaches that. Every single day, life gives you hundreds of micro decisions to start or delay, to speak honestly, or stay silent, to break a habit, or give in again, to take a walk, or sit down and let the day drift away, to write one line of your idea, or think, maybe later. And most people don't realize these small choices are not about discipline, they're about courage. The first step is to establish that something is possible. Then probability will occur. That first step, that's where daily courage lives. Motivation is a feeling and feelings fade. Courage is a decision, and decisions form habits. And habits, those shape your future. You don't need to feel strong to take the first step. You just need to not avoid it. That's courage. Not feeling fearless, but acting while fear is present. Courage is a system, not a trait. Let's be very clear here. This is not a personality type. You don't need to be extroverted. You don't need to be young. You don't need to be wealthy. You don't need to be lucky. You need a repeatable courage system that becomes part of your daily rhythm. And here's what that looks like. 1. A courage hour, or half hour, every day. Carve out one non-negotiable block of time. 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour. If possible, this time is for one uncomfortable task you've been avoiding, but that would move your life forward. Returning that email, recording that first video, starting that journal, researching that business, reading that book that's been sitting for years. You don't need to finish the task. You just need to start. This trains your brain to expect that discomfort equals progress. I think it's possible for ordinary people to choose to be extraordinary. That choice happens in the discomfort zone. 2. The what's the worst that could happen? Practice. This simple question dismantles fear faster than anything else. When you feel stuck, say out loud, what's the actual worst thing that could happen if I do this? Often the worst thing is feeling a little embarrassed, making a small mistake, needing to try again. But the cost of not doing it, a whole year lost, a future unlived. So which risk is worth? 3. Speak up once a day, every day. Practice using your voice, even in small ways. Ask a question you're holding back. Speak a truth to someone you trust. Share an idea that scares you. Even pray aloud. That's courage too. Using your voice is one of the greatest daily acts of courage. It tells your subconscious, my voice matters. And once that takes root, you become unstoppable. Here's what happens when you practice daily courage. After 7 days, your brain starts rewiring how it responds to fear. After 14 days, you become more decisive. After 30 days, your identity begins to shift. You don't just do courageous things. You become someone who expects courage from yourself. People work better when they know what the goal is and why. It is important that people look forward to coming to work in the morning and enjoy work. Replace the word work with life. People live better when they know why they're waking up, when they feel like they're progressing towards something meaningful, and nothing moves you toward that. Like daily acts of courage. You're not too late. You're not behind. You're at the exact stage of life where you know what matters. This is the perfect time to start shaping your days around quiet. Start simple. One new action a day that challenges your comfort. One honest conversation. One task you finish. Not because it's easy, but because it matters. Your brain stays younger. Your energy increases. Your focus sharpens. This is how life becomes rich again. Next, we'll talk about one of the greatest lies people believe about success, and how breaking it will unlock a level of energy and clarity you haven't felt in years. It's one thing to work hard, but it's another to work hard in the wrong direction. You'll want to hear this. By now you've seen the real source of courage. Not loud, not dramatic, but practiced daily in quiet decisions. But here's the question. Even with courage, why do some people still burn out? Still feel exhausted? Still feel like nothing is moving forward? That's what we're about to uncover, and it might be the most important shift you ever make. There is a trap that smart people fall into more than anyone else. People who care, people who try, people who want to make something of their life. It's not laziness, it's not lack of discipline, it's the productivity lie. The lie sounds like this: if I just work harder, everything will get better. If I can stay busy, it means I'm doing well. If I check off the list, if I stay in motion, I'm succeeding. But here's what nobody told you. You can be the most productive person in the room and still be going nowhere. Productivity does not equal progress. You can answer 100 emails a day and still never start that business. Organize your desk and never write the first page of your book. Schedule every hour and still live with regret. Help everyone else and never change your own life. Because the problem is not how much you're doing. The real issue is what direction you're heading. Most people are busy moving in circles. They've mistaken activity for achievement. They've mistaken exhaustion for progress. They've mistaken checking boxes for changing their life. And they wonder year after year, why does nothing ever truly shift? Here's the real reason behind the lie. Most people are working on things that don't actually matter to them. They're solving problems that were handed to them. They're chasing goals that were never theirs. They're following routines designed for someone else's dream. So even when they win, it feels hollow. Even when they rest, it feels restless. Even when they finish the day, it feels like something is missing. Don't confuse schooling with education. I didn't go to Harvard, but the people that work for me did. What does that mean here? You can follow every system, every calendar, every checklist, and still never wake up to your real life. Every morning before the lists, before the meetings, before the goals, you need one question, one honest soul-level question. Is this what I truly want to build with my life? Because here's the truth. If you climb the ladder fast, but the ladder is leaning on the wrong wall, you don't just waste energy, you lose yours. Here's a tool I want you to use every day, even for just 5 minutes. It's not complicated, but it will change the way you see your time forever. 1. Energy audit. Ask what gives me energy, and what drains it. Your energy is the single most honest feedback loop your body has. Who you talk to, what you work on, what environments you spend time in. Start noticing where do you feel life returning to you, and where do you always feel empty after. Don't ignore it. Track it. Energy is a compass. 2. Direction test. Ask, if I keep doing what I did today, where does that lead me in 5 years? Not where you hope it leads, where it actually leads. Does it move you toward deeper purpose, or is it maintenance mode? Imagine if you asked that every night before bed. Imagine the small adjustments you'd make. That's the start of a transformed life. 3. Ownership filter. Ask, am I working on what I've chosen, or what's been assigned to me by others? This is hard, but critical. Most people are overwhelmed not because they have too much to do,
but because they've agreed to too many things that aren't truly theirs. Take inventory, then make decision. You have something most people don't. Perspective. You know how fast time moves. You know how little people actually remember the small stuff. And you know how painful it is to lose time chasing what doesn't matter. So here's a challenge. Rebuild your life around what truly matters to you. Every morning ask, what would matter at the end of this year? What would matter at the end of my life? What do I want my days to actually feel like? Because every single day is a vote for the future you'll live in. And the beauty is you get to cast that vote again tomorrow morning. If you only focus on productivity, you'll end up exhausted, overbooked and underfulfilled. But when you align your actions with your deepest values, you don't just make progress, you make meaning. And that's what people are starving for today. Not another list, not another app, not another achievement. Meaning question for you. What is something you've been doing that no longer feels aligned with your purpose? Pause and think about it. Then let it go. Say it aloud if you need to. That single act might free up energy you haven't felt in years. Next, we'll go one layer deeper. You've built courage. You've broken the productivity lie. But now it's time to deal with the silent war inside the mind. We're going to uncover the invisible belief that quietly sabotages your progress, and how to silence it every morning before it stops you again. You've cleared the noise. You've questioned your direction. But now we enter the quietest, most dangerous room in your life. The room inside your own mind. And what lives there determines everything. There's a silent battle happening every morning. Most people don't talk about it. Some don't even realize it's there. But it rules their day before it even begins. It's not time, it's not resources, it's not energy, it's resistance. What is resistance? Resistance is that invisible force that whispers, not now, maybe tomorrow. You're not ready yet. You're too old for this, you failed too many times already. It's subtle, it's soft, but it's relentless. And if you don't name it, it will run your life quietly in the background for decades. The truth about resistance: it never leaves you alone. Some people believe resistance is something you grow out of, that once you become successful, it disappears, that once you gain confidence, it stops. But here's the truth. Resistance doesn't vanish. It adapts. It finds new ways to reach you. It evolves with your age, your experiences, your responsibilities. It used to sound like, you're too young. Nobody will take you seriously. Later it turns into, you're too old. Nobody listens anymore. Do you see it? Same voice, different disguise. For those in the second half of life, resistance wears more polite clothing. It says, be realistic. That's not how the world works. It's too late to reinvent yourself. Just be content. You've done enough. It might even disguise itself as responsibility, as wisdom, as humility. But it's still resistance, still fear in disguise. And it is robbing you of the next chapter of your life. This is not just emotional, it's biological. The brain is designed to keep you safe, not fulfilled. Its job is survival, not purpose. So every time you think of doing something unfamiliar, writing a book, starting a project, rebuilding a relationship, speaking up, learning something new, your brain triggers the resistance response. It doesn't care if it makes you alive again. It only cares if it's safe. But listen carefully. Safe is where dreams go to die quietly. Let's make this even clearer. If you hear these thoughts often, resistance is active in your life right now. What if I start and fail? What will people think of me? Who am I to do this? What if I waste my time? What if no one cares? These are not questions. They are walls. And walls don't protect you. They isolate you from progress. Every time you surrender to resistance, even for a day, you lose more than time. You lose trust in yourself, the habit of courage, the clarity of your own voice, and over time, that becomes a kind of quiet numbness. Not depression, not sadness, just detachment. You wake up, go through the motions, and start to believe maybe this is just how life is now. But that is a lie. That is not your final chapter. That is resistance winning. The only way to beat resistance is to face it every morning before it speaks. Not with a fight, but with a pattern that becomes who you are. Here's how. 1. Name the fear out loud. You cannot defeat what you haven't identified. So speak the thought that's paralyzing you, and say it clearly. I'm afraid I'll be embarrassed. I'm afraid I'll waste years. I'm afraid no one will care. Don't dress it up. Don't analyze it. Just name it. Because fear thrives in silence, but it weakens in truth. 2. Shrink the first step. Most people procrastinate not because they're lazy, but because they've made the first step too big to face. So shrink it. Instead of write a book, say write one messy paragraph. Instead of change careers, say read about one person who instead of rebuild my health, say take a walk after breakfast. Small steps build evidence, and evidence builds belief. 3. Schedule the hard thing first. Don't wait for the day to settle. Do the most emotionally demanding task before noon. Why? Because resistance is strongest in the first hours of the day. If you defeat it early, it has no oxygen left to grow. You don't need to win 10 hours, just the first 20 minutes. If you're in your 50s, 60s or beyond, you might feel like life should be slowing down. But here's what's more true. You have more clarity. You have more wisdom. You have less time to waste, which means you're actually in the perfect place to begin something that truly matters. Don't let resistance lie to you. You're not too late. You're right on time because you're still breathing, which means you're still becoming. Let's reflect. What's the one thing resistance has stopped you from starting this year? Pause. Feel it. Now ask yourself, what would I do today if I refuse to let fear decide for me? That's your next move, not tomorrow. Today, you've faced the mirror. You've walked through the resistance. You've realigned your energy and your direction. Now comes the breakthrough. The daily pattern that rewires your mindset, renews your purpose, and changes your life from the inside out. And the best part, it only takes 10 minutes a day, and you can begin tomorrow morning. Change is never about motivation. It's not about a feeling. It's not about waiting for the right time. It's about one simple thing. Pattern. Because the brain doesn't change through pressure. It changes through repetition. And when you repeat the right pattern every single day, even for just 10 minutes, you shift your identity from someone trying to change to someone who already is. Let's build that pattern right now. You don't need hours. You don't need to read 50. You don't need a complete lifestyle overhaul overnight. You need one intentional block of time every morning. 10 minutes. Start here. Stay here. And don't stop. Let's break it down. Step by step. Minute 1 to 2. Silence and breath. Presence over panic. Most people begin their day in reaction mode. News, phone alerts, appointments. You're not waking up, you're being hijacked. But in the first 2 minutes of this pattern, you reclaim your mind. Sit or stand. No screen, no noise. Close your eyes or focus on one calm spot. Breathe in deeply and say one phrase in your mind. I am not my fear. I am not my past. I am not my failures. I am choosing who I become today. Let this settle your nervous system. Let it reintroduce calm into a world that runs on chaos. This is not spiritual. This is biological control. Minute 3 to 4. Define the target. Clarity beats confusion. Now take a pen or your voice or even just your thoughts and answer this question clearly. What would make today a winning day? Even if nothing else goes right, it could be one task, one call, one moment of courage, one boundary, one expression of love. Write it, name it, say it, because your brain needs direction, not pressure. And when it has a clear target, it quiets the inner noise. You don't need to do 20 things. You need to win one thing and feel the momentum of it. Minute 5 to 6. Interrupt the fear voice. Resistance detox. Now recall the resistance voice from yesterday. It could be I don't have enough time. This won't work. I've already missed my chance. Now answer it out loud with your truth. You say that is not my voice. That is fear pretending to protect me. But fear does not run my life. Truth does. Courage does. Integrity does. You say it gently, but you say it firmly. Because resistance only wins when it goes unnoticed. And when you call it out, it begins to dissolve. Minute 7 to 8. Speak the future. Identity installation. Now you build your new self in language. You don't describe where you are. You speak where you're going as if it's already unfolding. Say things like, I am becoming more focused every day. I build peace in my mornings, and purpose in my actions. I don't panic when things go wrong. I adjust, I learn, I keep moving. Every morning I rise a little higher. Speak slowly, speak clearly, speak like someone who's already walked through fire, and came out stronger because you have. And the more often you speak that version of you, the faster it becomes true. Minute 9 to 10. Act immediately. Momentum activation. This is the most important minute of the day. Right now, take one physical action that moves you forward. Open the book you said you'd finish. Write one paragraph. Put on your walking shoes. Send that message. Clear that space. Pour the glass of water instead of the second coffee. Not tomorrow. Not after your email, right now. Action defeats resistance. Not confidence. Not waiting. Not planning. Just action. And that one move turns your 10-minute pattern into a living transformation. You don't need another year. You need a pattern. Let's pause for one last reflection. You've learned how most people waste their mornings. You faced the silent resistance that steals energy and hope. You've questioned the noise that pulls people away from their real direction. You've returned to the basics of focus, peace, truth, and momentum. Now you're holding the pattern in your hands. A 10-minute doorway that leads to your new life. You're not too old, you're not too far behind. You're not stuck, you're not late. You're awake, and you're starting now. People often overestimate what they can do in a year, but they underestimate what's possible in a day. When that day is lived with focus, honesty, and momentum. Start small, start daily, but above all, start now. Check out my playlist for other life-transforming videos. You've got this.